like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see from up here.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Blackpack Homestead. My name is Morella.
And I'm Chris.
And we homestead here in the beautiful mountains of western North Carolina on a little less than an acre, 0.81. And we're gonna give you a garden tour today. Yay, garden tour. That is if we don't get rained out. I said to one of the folks that commented on one of our other videos that I was gonna try to film this today if the afternoon storms held off. So let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
Okay guys, let's get started up here in the front with the crazy squashes. If you saw our other garden tour from this year, which I think this is like only the second one we've done, so we thought we had honey nuts sprouting up here. Guess what? Ain't no stinking honey nut. Yep, we planted summer squash, the yellow crooked neck, honey nut, and butternut, and then it like rained, really heavy, hard storm. Seeds washed, and I thought the honey nuts were over here. And so when the starter leaves came up, I was like, oh yeah, that's smaller than a butternut or a sugar pumpkin or any other squash I thought I'd planted. And nope, started setting fruit, yellow crooked neck. Remember up there at the ramp patch where you sowed some squash with me? Let's go look at those right quick. There they are. Okay, so I did that because I thought that none of the yellow crooked neck summer squash had came up, because I thought that was honey nut. Nope. So we're gonna have a lot of yellow crooked neck squash, which does not hurt my feelings because that is my favorite summer squash. So let's go on over here and check out the rest of the squashes. Kill it, don't just flick it.
I don't want to kill it. Not like that.
I do.
I don't want to squish it.
I squish it. I'm not afraid. I squish it with my fingers. Die, you Mexican bean beetle, die. Oh, Chris did it. He smashed it on my chair stump over there. So here we are in the squash row, right?
I ain't done killing yet.
Oh, he has more to kill. Show me. Another Mexican bean beetle. Squash it like a man. And then wipe your fingers off on the grass. See, but look. See, it works. I wipe my fingers off on the grass.
If I had a way just I could go down the way just mashing them, you know, that would be great.
But yeah, there's another one. Get
Another one?
Yep, right there.
Die.
And I done picked off a bunch.
Look, see, I killed him in a creative way.
In a creative way. But these are the Homestead Rewind pumpkins. They are being eaten by the Mexican bean beetle, as you can see.
I'll take.
But that happens. We are gonna neem oil it, and that'll all be good. Right there is the first pumpkin that Homestead Rewind jack-o'-lanterns have set. D, look, there's our first pumpkin. Yay! Yay! And this guy over here is laying over, but I don't see anything. Oh, I see a female flower. Oh, there's one. There's another pumpkin! Yay! Homestead Rewind pumpkins. And then here in the middle between the summer squash and the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, yep, we have sugar pumpkins. Oh, here's the rain, folks. We're gonna have to cut it short. And there's a sugar pumpkin in here somewhere.
I saw it.
I saw it too. Unless it already died off, which can happen.
There's one back here. Sure isn't behind
No,
me?
that's a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Well, it's there. I just don't see it right now, and I don't want to step on the vines as little as you know possible. But on down the squash row, we have some of the radishes. We're letting them go to seed to save the seed. But look at the roots on these breakfast radishes. Look at that thing. Isn't that crazy? That's what happens when you let a radish go to seed. And we also have, yeah, we're gonna have to quit.
Yeah, here soon.
Alright, well, I'll keep going until I feel like it's unsafe for the camera.
Hey guys, I don't know how I feel about the pine shavings here, but I don't really recommend it. I really like the straw method. It has, I mean, just breaks down faster. I've never had a problem with it. This year, just not so much.
We've had a lot of leaf curl on several different plants, and not just the tomatoes I showed y'all last time. It's happened on some beans over there. It's happened on the potatoes we tried to grow, which didn't work out so well. So we're thinking that quail pine bedding with the quail manure in it is a little too hot to go directly into a sheet gardening method, so we're gonna have to figure out a new compost situation for that.
Which shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go in. We'll be back if it stops raining and there's daylight, and if not, I'll get up early in the morning and we'll pick it up. Alright, see ya in the morning. Bye guys. Look at our friend who just showed up after it quit raining. I'm guessing its wings are wet, so it's letting them dry out. It just landed on this calendula next to me. Isn't she beautiful? Well, the rain stopped, so we're back at it. So let's see, I think we showed the squash, and we're fixing to show beans. So let's go check those beans out. On my little teepee here, I have what's called a greasy bean, or the lazy housewife's bean. Got it from So True Seed. Supposed to have still be tender potted even when the beans are big, which is, my dad likes a big bean in his green beans. So, and this is the greasy beans called the Lazy Housewife, first originally grown in Marshall, North Carolina. So here they are. They have climbed up that part of the teepee. Some of them are starting to cross over the top of the teepee and back down. So hopefully by the end of the summer, all these things will make an actual teepee, and Hattie and I will go inside. After that happens, the calendula will go away and we'll go in the teepee. Here's a beautiful zinnia fixing to bloom. Ooh. And here's some more of the crazy leaf curl that actually happened over here on the teepee. See how these leaves look kind of tough? They were all curled up, but it seems to be recovering. It still doesn't look as healthy as these guys, but you know, it's probably a little stunted from the leaf curl. The beans on the trellis, you know, I had trouble getting them to sprout, all sorts of crazy things. I replanted them a couple of times. Same thing was with the one on the teepee, but the teepee ones finally all sprouted, so there's like, I have no clue how many bean plants are on that. But these beans on the trellis are the beans that we got from a co-worker of Chris's back about 3 years ago. He brought us a 5-gallon bucket of beans his neighbor had grown. This little old fella had probably grown these beans for the Lord only knows how long. So I'd kind of like to try to keep them going, and I kind of did a bad job saving seeds. My seed pods got moldy, and I do know that we are getting ripe blueberries. I looked at them today.
You think?
Yeah, I know.
Here, watch. Pick one up.
Those are not ripe blueberries. Why are you showing me
They're
this?
hard as a rock, too.
Why are you showing these to me?
Because this is real life, guys.
Why
this is
would
real life.
Why would you do that? Why didn't you leave them on the plant?
they're done.
Oh,
that's
okay.
it. That's all you're getting out of these hard little things.
That's
Look
weird.
at that. It is weird. It's like mummy fruit.
There are real ones on there.
I hope
that
you
are
guys
turned
enjoyed
in.
our mummy fruit.
Mummy fruit, mummy fruit. Okay, anyway, now that he's interrupted me with his mummy fruit, I didn't do such a great job saving these beans, and when I was drying the seed pods out, it kind of got moldy, so yeah. So I had to scrounge around to get these. So he's tasting this mummy fruit.
I'm gonna taste this mummy fruit.
And when we're editing this and it takes us a long time, it's all his fault 'cause he's interrupted me.
I'm gonna eat this mummy fruit.
All right, here you go. Eat a mummy
It's
blueberry.
hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, it is really hard.
They're tangy.
They're shiny.
They're tangy.
Tangy. Oh, it
They
looks.
don't have any taste.
That's gross. I wouldn't do that. Okay, back to the beans. So here are the beans that sprouted, and the pumpkin is now climbing this trellis too, the sugar pumpkin. And I see a Mexican bean beetle. I must squash it. Go away, bean beetle! Mexican bean beetle, da da da. There we go. So these are the beans. Aren't they beautiful? They get these great big leaves. Here's the sugar pumpkin climbing through the trellis. And the bean plants are the ones that finally came up. They're climbing on up. See, they're getting right on over the trellis. The arched cattle panel trellis. Yay! And there they are. See, and then here you have the one that sprouted late. There's another one climbing, climbing, climbing. And there's another one climbing, climbing, climbing. And then there's some more. And then you have this dead spot where the rabbits, the wild rabbits, ran through here and broke the plants off for the most part. And this one got ate to death by something. I'm not quite sure what at this point, but there it is. It got ate. And then there's the last one on the row that's just started climbing. It's climbing the... I got to get it off the lamb's ear because the lamb's ear is coming out of here, folks. There we go. Put him there. Oh, and because of the rain, I forgot to mention my one bell pepper. Well, there's another one right there beside it. It too got broke by the rabbits. And it looks like it's trying to sprout back, so we'll see how that goes. But that is a yellow bell pepper California Wonder. So yeah, I almost forgot to tell you about the bell pepper because I forgot because of the rain. And if we turn around, woo, hi guys. If we turn around, we get to the tomato trellis. And as you know, I've had a lot of leaf curl in the middle section of this trellis. Several of the plants I pulled up because I was afraid I had a virus of some sort, but now that I've seen it occur in several places in the garden, we have come to the conclusion that it is more than likely the quail bedding, the pine shavings. And so I haven't pulled any more out that have leaf curl. And you know, the fruit, they should set fruit, they should, you know, develop fruit, they're just going to struggle. And some of them have totally pulled out of it, so, you know, let's check them out. First tomato is two plants. Kind of hard to tell where one starts and one ends, and yes, I have pruned this thing. This is a black cherry tomato, and there is our fruit. Beautiful, shiny tomatoes. And then we have more here. And more over there. But yeah, this cherry tomato plant, these two cherry tomato plants, are the biggest in the bunch of the tomatoes I'm growing. My slicers, all except for the Mr. Stripey, that was a plant start. The ones I started from seed are just now tall enough to be tied to the trellis. So yeah, I kind of started my seeds late, so there you go. But anyway, we have a long growing season. We'll get tomatoes. Not worried about it. But these monsters, I can't wait to taste their fruit. I've never grown this variety, but I've heard a lot of good things about the black creme cherry tomato. And that's what this is. And Hattie, I was showing her that we had tomatoes on the vine, and she smelled the plant, and she goes, oh, tomatoes, and then she starts trying to lick the tomatoes, the green tomatoes on the vine. It was so precious. So here we have a plant that has some severe leaf curl issues. This is an Amish paste. See, Amish paste, it's got some flowers. Just don't know how that's gonna go. Just gotta wait and see. This is another Amish paste plant, and it too has the severe leaf curl. But it has a fruit. Yay! And this is another Amish, I believe. I think all these are Amish because all but one of my ox hearts kicked the bucket. And this one had leaf curl, and it has totally came out of it, and it is looking fabulous, fabulous. And this little guy on the ground that needs to meet the trellis, he is a volunteer. And usually a lot of my volunteers are cherry tomatoes. But this is not setting flowers like a cherry, so I'm excited to see what this plant grows. And this is my ox heart, my only ox heart tomato plant. And it is looking happy, happy, happy. And it has set some fruit, but it's on the other side. I'll show it to you when we go around. And then this is Amish paste that I replaced. This one, I need to prune on it because I got some leaves on the ground almost. But yeah, there is another Amish paste. And here is the fruit on the ox heart. There it is, beautiful, beautiful. Now, due to not knowing whether I had a virus or some sort of disease with this leaf curl, where I pulled plants out, I did not put them back in the same place. So I have 5 tomato cages over here. I know I said I'd never use them again. My neighbor brought me these. They're nice powder-coated tomato cages. So, you know, but for now, I felt better about planting them over there than back over here, just in case I did have some sort of virus in my soil. So let's look at these plants. They've only been in the ground. Hey, baby.
Hey, YouTube.
We're talking about these tomato plants.
Oh, yeah.
Our
neighbor Jeff was nice enough to donate some cages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we planted these. They've not been in the ground horribly long, maybe a week, if that. And I can't remember the varieties that are here. I know there's a beefsteak. I know there's a Cherokee purple. I know there's a mortgage lifter, but I can't remember which one's which. Because we just needed to get these guys in the ground because they were struggling in their tiny 4-inch pots. So, believe it or not, they look better than they did, you know? But there they are, my tomato cage plants. And in the middle of the tomato cages is the ground cherries. There you go. I've got 3 plants. This one got ran over by the wild rabbits, and it sprouted back, so yay, go little ground cherry. And they're still getting eaten by flea beetles. This happens, and then eventually it'll switch from flea beetles to these little worms that want to eat your fruit. And I was trying to see if I could find a blossom. There's a bud, but not a blossom. They eat flowers. Oh, look! Not only have I didn't find a blossom, but I found fruit.
well, that means we gotta start really spring.
Look, there it is. That's what a ground cherry looks like when it fruits. Now, you're not gonna eat these ground cherries until they fall off. The husk is gonna turn yellowy and it's gonna get dry, and then they're gonna fall on the ground. And that is when they taste the best. I have, you know, just bumped the bush to see what would fall off and got them that way, and that was good. But anytime I've ever like pulled one off that looked like it might be ready, nah.
You guys gotta be diligent about spraying these guys, otherwise
Yeah.
you only get a harvest at the very end of the year because bugs love them.
Everything loves ground cherries.
The worm gets in there and you open and you're like, oh man.
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah, it'll look fine on the outside of the husk, you know, the little paper husk. You open it up and it's like, oh.
Yes. Depressing.
Sad, sad. Oh, my marigold's fixing to bloom in amongst the narrowleaf plantain. There it is. See? Oh. Yeah, we like to plant flowers in with our veggies to draw in pollinators. and I didn't plant as much as I normally do in the garden, flower-wise this year, because yet again I got my seeds started late, and a lot of that's due to my health. I was in the hospital in February and all that kind of jazz, but doing much better now for those of you that are curious about that. So let's go on down this row of slicers and take a look at them. So here we are on the row of slicers. See, I have to angle down because they're all still short, because yet again seeds started late. But this row did not curl nearly as much as the front row. See, this one has leaf curl, but once again I'm gonna let it go because we've decided it was the use of the pine shavings. Oh, and look at my giant volunteer sunflower. Last year we had a forest of volunteer sunflowers. This year this was the only one, and it's the best looking one.
You got another one popping up over there.
I put that one there.
It's an itty bitty.
I put it there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I planted like 4 sunflowers, and the rabbits topped 2 of them, and 2 of them are still kicking. So yeah, the rabbits and I, you know, it's a summer thing. And we got these cabbages. Why don't you just mess with them, you know? Darn. But anyway, here, gap on the trellis, pulled them up because I thought we might have a virus, yada, yada, yada. And the last tomato on this row is the one Mr. Stripey that my dad gave me like 6. But I gave some to my brother-in-law, and then Daddy got some, and then I kept 2. And one of them I pulled out back when while I was thinking it was a virus. And so I only have 1 stripey plant, so I have kind of let it get crazy. Like I started out, I had two main leaders going up, and I was like, okay, that'll work, I'll prune the rest. Well, now I have 3. So yeah, because I didn't stay on top of it. But here it is. Does have leaf curl, but setting fruit, and it looks like an actual Mr. Stripey tomato, unlike the ones that I grew last year. There is the leaf curl, and there is 1 leader, 2 leader, oh, there's 4 now, 3, and there's the 4th one. So I'm letting this sucker get big since he's the only one. Oh, look at the zinnias. See, I did get sunflowers planted. They just haven't bloomed yet. Those look good. But yeah, let's come around on this side and I will show you the fruit. Because last 2 years I've grown stripeys. I started them from seed. And I got like these little saladette tomatoes instead of a 12-ounce slicer is what it says it'll grow. But these are setting fruit that look like it's going to be that. So let's check it out. Da 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 da. Where'd it go? There it is. See, look. Now that looks like a Mr. Stripey. See, those look much more like a stripey than the ones I grew last year. But it is setting lots and lots of fruit. So, yay! 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 Last time we were in the garden, I harvested 1 cabbage. And I didn't get to the rest of them. Life happens. That one looks like it could still be usable, and that one, maybe. But the chickens loved it. We tore out 1, and man, they were making all the happy chicken noises you could imagine. I'm going to show you our asparagus. Here is our asparagus. This is what happens when you don't harvest asparagus and you let it grow and go to seed when you're waiting on it to get big enough to eat. And there it is. And it gets these little berries that have the seeds in them. But aren't the seeds poisonous, Christopher? Asparagus seeds are poisonous, so don't try to eat that, okay? But we have lots of it. Here's a younger one. We planted some new ones this year. About 6 or 8 new ones, and there's another one. And another one. Can't knock that. And we'll go up here and look at the other asparagus, but as we go to the other asparagus, I'm about out of battery. Here's our yarrow and our apple tree. And we have a few apples. They're up there somewhere. It takes me a minute to find them. but they're there. And there is all the lamb's ear that is going to go away out of the garden. We've got to control this. We're going to pot them up and sell them. There you go. And then, see, it's like walking through a sea. There's the chamomile. Here's the thyme we planted. And we have asparagus planted back here in these little trenches where the dandelions, what are those? Chamomile's fallen over. And this is a little herb section. There's my rosemary, some zinnias, one of the sunflowers that got kind of broke and tried to come back. My poor marigold that's getting killed by the chamomile. My dill that the rabbits ate is coming back. And there's the sage I planted this year. Yet again, we got some chamomile on it, and some zinnias, some more sage, another zinnia, and crazy oregano that's trying to take over the world. And yeah, we gotta cut this back. And there's our feverfew, which is a good herbal pain medication. And our second apple tree, which looks like he's developed that weird virusy, fungusy thing that he got the first year we planted him. So we're gonna have to, I can't remember what it's called, but we looked it up when it first happened. And I just can't remember right now. So, we're all the way back to the front of the garden. And I didn't even show you the blueberries or the white pumpkins that Miss Linda gave us. Woo, about fell. And, yeah, the blueberries, the white pumpkins. I showed you the pitiful cabbage. Well, it wasn't pitiful till it got slug bug eaten. But here are the rest of the pumpkins. This is the white pumpkin plants that Ms. Linda at Chris's work gave us, and it's stretching and growing and setting beautiful flowers. And then here's another sugar pumpkin plant, and it's not stretching yet. Things down in this part of the garden have a hard time. They don't get nearly as much sun. And here is the blueberry bounty. Blueberry bounty. Chris showing you the mummy blueberries. He ain't gonna show you the big juicy ones. You're so silly. Oh, and here's our poor corn row that we kind of gave up on. But see, we planted a row of corn and it came up very sporadically. But looky here. There it is. Let's shake it and make it pollinate. There we go.
Strawberries still going.
Yeah, strawberries, vegging. There's some more asparagus.
Yeah, popping up here and there.
See, there's another asparagus, if you can see that. And an asparagus. We got a lot of asparagus. There's another one, if you can see that fern. But yeah, there's the corn that was what I thought failed. But who knows? We may get an ear or two. Who knows?
Don't touch my Joe Pye weed.
Where's your Joe Pye weed?
Right there behind you.
This is Joe Pye weed?
Pretty sure that's Joe Pye weed.
We discuss this every year.
Don't touch my Joe Pye weed.
That's Joe Pye weed.
Well, it'll grow a big old head on it, but yeah.
Okay.
The bugs love Joe Pye weed. I used to sell it the feed and seed.
Hang on, I'm shooting it. Because you always tell me about it and I always forget what it looks like, so that's why I'm videoing it so hard.
I used to sell it the feed and seed, and it grows by the roadside. People would buy it all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nuts. It was like
crazy. It's like elderberries. They just grow by the roadside.
Yeah.
You just don't see them.
We just found one and we want to go take cuttings.
So found everywhere I drive, I see them, seeing them.
Well, anyway, and there's our giant row of what was our fall and winter kale, and all the seeds are dried out. So we will probably have so much kale right in here this fall, it's not even going to be funny, and we're not even going to have to plant it. That is pretty much the garden, other than the rabbit garden over there, which is just going to be the mint garden now. We got to save the comfrey out of there. Let's come up here, baby. And I showed you a little bit of the ramp garden with the squash that we sowed together up there. And there's a bunch of kale up there, a bunch of seeds we need to collect up there, a huge giant catnip plant. Nuts. But that's pretty much the garden tour.
Yeah, the main garden.
Yeah, the main garden.
The perennial garden.
You know, hopefully one day this will be just for perennials. But you know, that just remains to be seen.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Blackpack Homestead. I hope it served you well. I hope you learned about mummy blueberries and Joe Pye weed. So, God bless until we see you again here at the Blackpack Homestead. Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.